have my hand in a little bit of everything throughout our design.
So you're the professional cat herder. So
Yeah, kind of.
keeping all the different parts moving in the same direction at times.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI The Americas. I'm Wade Kaler, Executive Director. On Tap this week is a newer member to FCSI who I predict big things ahead, knowing who she works for. I'm excited to learn more about her, so please welcome the Project Manager with FoodSpace, Miss Renee Palmer. Hey, Renee, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Just like every other episode, we start off by just kind of getting to know you. You're kind of a newer member to FCSI. A lot of people probably aren't familiar with you. So tell us a little bit about your background, how you got your start in hospitality, and then how you got into food service consulting.
Yeah, so I actually had no idea about like the food service industry as big as it is, and how involved and connected it all is until I met Joe. So Joe and I were working for a nonprofit in San Jose, Christmas in the Park. He was president of the board at the time. I was the program coordinator, and he was just starting FoodSpace, and I was looking for a transition from the nonprofit. So, our worlds connected that way. Yeah. And it was really interesting because as he started to tell me what he was doing and, really started to kind of peel back the layers of this, what this whole industry is about, I became really fascinated with it. And I've always been one for small businesses. I really like the choose your own adventure aspect of it. So it was a natural gravitation. And right away, I noticed how innovative Joe was and how kind of out of the box thinking he was, which also was very enticing because I always love a challenge. I like to learn new things. So he was, it was a natural gravitation.
Yeah. He's an incredibly smart guy, and I make fun of him, and I can because he's a good friend as well. But the making fun of it, he really is such an intelligent guy and thinks so fast and has so many ideas running through his head that it's infectious to be around him. Yeah. You get excited, you want to do more, and you want to try to keep up, or he wants to keep up with you. So at times, so it's really great to be around him and spend time with him. And I can understand even if you don't know it, he's going to make it sound incredibly glamorous, and it's a lot of fun. One thing if you talk to a lot of consultants, this industry is a lot of fun. I just had a guest on who was talking about, where else do you go down to Orlando for an entire week, and you've got multiple parties to go to with a lot of great food, a lot of great drinking, everybody networking. And then you've got a great show to go to, with all this new equipment, and you're getting paid to be there. It's a great industry to be a part of. And a lot of people don't know about this side of the industry, which we call the equipment and supplies industry, which consultants kind of fall into. And, but it's a great one, and one that I would say most time once you get into it, you're in for life. It's hard to get out of. Mm-hmm. Because it becomes so much fun, and there is opportunities to make money that you really kind of are, stuck in there for forever, because it's hard to find another industry that's like it.
Yeah. I also think there's just a really good people connection throughout the industry. Everyone's there to support you, to help you. Everyone is just, there to help the greater cause too. Yeah. We all have that one common goal. And I love that no matter where you go, who you talk to, there's always that underlying presence that, hey, we're all on the same team. We all have that same, goal, mindset, mission that we want to accomplish.
Right. So what is exactly you do for FoodSpace as far as your, say, daily, monthly duties?
Yeah. So it's transitioned throughout the years. I've been with FoodSpace since 2016. So, it was first just Joe and I in this small little office. Yeah. And I was doing a lot of admin stuff, getting to really get to know what this industry was really about, get to really know what we were doing, what our mission was. So of course, Joe and I, I I did a lot of supporting work for him. He's very visionary, and I'm very much like boots on the ground. You tell me what you want, and I'll go get it done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, Joe and I, like, we work really well together because,
Yeah.
I do like making something happen. I like that work. For me, it's just really rewarding. So, throughout the years, it's transitioned. We have many facets of our business, and I've been a part in each and every one of them. And that's been really rewarding to see our business grow in these different facets and like always evolving, always, iterating for the better. So I've had my hand in a little bit of everything. Nowadays, as project manager, I'm making on the design side. I'm making sure that everything that needs to be accomplished is right on task. So tracking project schedule, tracking inspections, submittals, design review, all of it. I have my hand in a little bit of everything throughout our design.
So you're the professional cat herder, essentially.
Yeah, kind of.
Keeping all the different parts moving in the same direction at times.
Yeah, that's right.
I completely understand that. That's kind of what an association executive director does. Just make sure that everything kind of keeps moving in the same thing. I read a little bit about you and kind of got into some research about you. And one of the things your bio talks about is you're an outdoor adventurist.
Yeah.
Now I know based on where you're at right now, you're probably not doing that much because you're due any day now, essentially, for little Theo, obviously in the back. But when you're not pregnant and getting ready to have a baby, tell us what an outdoor adventurist means to you. What does that entail?
To me, so even when I am pregnant, we went on like a 4-mile hike not that long ago, which wasn't as enjoyable, being 8 months pregnant at that time. Now I'm 9 months pregnant, and yeah, like you had mentioned, ready to pop any day. But I have 3 active dogs, a really active 10-year-old, and my partner and I, we like to go out and just explore and, come upon these really fun things, whether it's like a rope swing in the middle of the forest that you just like find. And then you spend the afternoon goofing around with that, 10-year-old on the rope swing, dogs chasing 10-year-old, or just, going into an unadventured path or unexplored path, right?
Yeah.
Kind of blazing your own trail, finding cool little nooks and waterfalls and all of that. So I always like to explore places I haven't been before too. I like to go out and try something new, as much as I can. So I find that the outdoors is a more like freeing place where, I could take my dogs, I could take my 10-year-old, and we can just go and, unleash and just really let our bodies, our souls, our minds wander.
Getting back to FoodSpace, what kind of projects mainly do you guys work on? Is there a certain segment or a couple segments that really Joe and everybody in the office and you focus in on, or is it really kind of anything goes, go after any project you can?
It's really anything goes for us. I mean, we do like to open our resources and our minds and our expertise to many facets of the industry, whether it's restaurant, B&I, healthcare, whatever, schools. But mainly we focus on B&I. So we do a lot of like corporate cafes. We do a lot of management on the corporate side. We do, food service operator vendor selection process for corporate companies. So we tend to focus really heavy on that side, but open to all and everything.
And where do you see yourself going? Obviously admin at the beginning, project manager now, and project coordinator and everything else. I mean, is this what you feel like your niche is that you're going to stay in, or is there something else you want to go for or try out new down the road within the same industry?
Yeah, so Joe and I have had several conversations about what's next because there's always that question in the background, like, okay, well, I've achieved what I wanted to do in this position. What can I do? What's next, right? And of course, I'm always looking for a challenge. So we've had a little bit of conversation surrounding that, and Joe and I still need to talk through what that exactly looks like. But path forward would be, to take more of like, a associate, role within
Yeah.
FoodSpace, and then see how that goes, how I could further develop that role, and what all of that entails. So it's a
Nice.
little ambiguous right now because we're still trying to
Right.
work out that. But
Of course.
in other words, I'll continue to grow with FoodSpace and um, help Joe reach his visions and
Yeah.
his
Absolutely.
his
Absolutely.
great ideas.
Now, if you were to be given, your own projects and from beginning to end now, is there a certain segment that you've seen that really gets you excited more than others? Or really is it just kind of the process no matter the type of segment?
Um, I'll say it depends on the client. So,
Okay. That's fair.
yeah, a lot of clients, everyone has their own personality. Every project is so different.
Yeah.
So, I have a smaller project that I'm working on, but the client's fantastic. And, this client, she's just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
The project is on the smaller side, but it's still a fun process to be with. And then you have some of the other projects that depending on the client, they could really make things a more like daunting task.
Right.
So I enjoy though like really working with my team, working with the project team, and it's nice to once the project is done to be in that space, sit down in it, or take a step
Yeah.
back and go, "Hey, this is what we created. This is what we
Right.
designed." Right, and
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the most rewarding piece.
Yeah. And I would say that, even though you say it's a small project, it's kind of like talking to consultants over the years, it's similar to event planning, which is what I do a lot of as well. It doesn't matter whether it's a board meeting for 12 or a conference for 1,000. There's still, 80%, 85% of it is still the same steps, the same. It's just a different scale, but really it's the same thing. You got to think about the next step's going to be the next step, that's the next step, and it has to go in that order for it to go well. So, and so it, I guess my point is at the end, it's still so much fun to have that thing done when it's all over with. It's you've created it, you get to bask in it, and then also you get to move on, and you're going to the next one now. So
Yeah, right. And in some cases with what we do specifically to food space, we can move on and go on to the next design. Or we can, help manage that space and
yeah,
continue to grow with it, help manage the program. So it's also rewarding to see how successful these
yeah,
spaces can be. And just hearing guest feedback and your client feedback is also, as you continue down the road, maybe a year or 2 years, depending on how long we're managing this space for,
right,
that's also a fun process to see.
absolutely.
Just have it, see how smoothly it's running or how successful it's running.
Now, besides being an outdoor adventurist, what is one thing about Renee that somebody would never know or never be able to guess about you when they first meet you or starting to get to know you?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I tend to be an open book. Um, I guess I guess because a lot of people just go based off of looks. Some people think I'm a lot younger than I am. Um, and then I guess the amount of tattoos I have. So
Okay.
I guess those are the two things just based off of looks.
Yeah.
First appearance. A lot of people, don't think of me of that person, right? Of
Yeah.
oh, I'm A, not as young as I look, and B, I like my fair share of tattoos. So
Nice.
yeah.
Very good. And approximately how many do you have?
I have 6
Okay,
large pieces.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, so you came out of a different way of coming into the industry, obviously. Um, so what piece of advice would you give to somebody thinking of becoming a food service consultant, whether they're a recent college graduate or thinking of making a career transition like you were? What's the one piece of advice you give to them as they start to think about becoming a food service consultant?
For me, it's just having an open mind, being open minded to everything because this industry, there's not just one facet. It's so connected in so many different, touch points, that there's all these different paths and adventures that you can choose to go down.
Yeah,
So I think it's just having an open mind when you come in. Don't think of it as, oh, it's just this, right? Because the food service industry is so much more than people think about. They put it in this little
yeah,
box and they say, oh, this is all it is, when there's so much more to it. And it could offer you so much, just dependent on what you're interested in, what you're looking to accomplish.
nice. If you were not in the food service industry, what do you think what's your dream job? What would it have been or what would you do?
My dream job, I
Yeah,
mean, that's a tough one because I do love what I'm doing. And I love the fact, like, again, working for a smaller company, it is a really,
yeah,
you get to choose your own adventure. Um, if FoodSpace didn't exist, I would say, doing something with dogs. Like, I love animals, I love dogs.
okay,
Um, you know, we talk about doing a like when we're old and retired, we talk about doing a like rescue for dogs that like
yeah,
no one wants, or senior dogs, so that just need to live out a good life. And that's something I still want to do down the
yeah.
road. I would love to do it sooner, but I don't think my bandwidth with 2 kids, 3 dogs, food space, I don't think I'll be able to do that right now. But
Yeah, I
um,
bet.
yeah, something on the horizon.
Not unless you can figure out how to clone yourself and make it, duplicity or something like that, where you can actually become more than one person. I don't see that happening yet
Yeah.
right now.
Well, who knows? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
Elon
true.
Musk will come up with something.
That's true. You do kind of work with that industry out there in the Pacific Northwest a little bit, so they never know what they're working on out there.
Yeah.
Um, well, that's all the formal questions I've got for you today. But before I let you go, we're going to have a little bit of fun with some would you rather questions. And the questions we've got this year have been pulled from some of the best ofs from the last 4 seasons. So we'll jump right into the first one, which is: would you rather be able to teleport anywhere in the world or be able to read people's minds?
Um, Teleport. I would rather
Okay,
like teleport somewhere like, on a whim. I don't really care what other people think most of the time, so.
I agree. I agree. Would you rather have all the traffic lights you approach turn green or never have to stand in line again?
Standing in line.
Okay. Would you rather fight a duck the size of a horse or 100 horses the size of a duck?
No, ducks are little vicious creatures, so no, I don't want to fight a duck.
Okay. Toilet paper. When you put on the roll, is it over or under?
Over. You have to do it
Okay.
over.
Double dipping when it comes to food, whether it's
No.
a sauce or whatever. No, doesn't
No.
even have to go further. I don't have to explain it.
No.
No double dipping.
No.
Perfect. Favorite curse word?
Um,
We'll
Definitely.
bleep. We'll
Can
bleep it out.
Okay. Definitely like, but with like,
All right.
depending on the
Perfect.
mood too.
Yeah, exactly. Um, would you rather know all the secrets to outer space or all the secrets to the ocean?
Ooh, that's a good one. Outer space. Outer space is more intriguing and less known, I feel like. Plus, I already have like this phobia of swimming in ocean waters that I can't see. So if I know more than I actually do, I don't think I'd ever go swimming in the ocean.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably very true. Would you rather never have to do laundry again or never have to do dishes again?
Dishes. Laundry smells better than dishes.
Oh, that's a very good point. Nobody's ever made. I like that one. Um, would you rather go backstage with your favorite band or be an extra on your favorite TV show?
Favorite band.
And what band would you go backstage with?
I don't have a favorite band, but if I did,
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
I did see like the Eagles a few years ago in concert, and that was like one of the best concerts that I've seen. Um, Dirk Bentley, he's a country singer, and he's
Yep.
also like has amazing performance. And I've seen every one of his concerts that I've been in the city with. So um, yeah, definitely a concert. It's that'd be an experience.
I agree. Would you rather have a personal housekeeper or a personal chef?
Ooh. Um, I think a personal chef. I'd love to like learn more on like how I can make different dishes or like just be more involved in that. I love to cook and I love to be very hands-on, and I feel like a personal chef would just enhance what I want. So yeah,
Very
personal
good
chef.
answer. Absolutely. Would you rather always have an annoying song stuck in your head or always have an itch that you can't reach?
Oh, song. No, I can't deal with itches. Mm-mm.
All right. And the last one, would you rather give up your cell phone for an entire month or give up bathing for an entire month?
I bathe every night, like religiously. So cell phone it is. I could care less about that. If I am bathed, I am good.
Perfect. That's all the questions I've got for you today, Renee. But before we let you go, tell us a little bit about how people can find out more about you and Food Space.
So you could go to myfoodspace.com and you can check us out on our website there. You could learn a little bit about me and my team on myfoodspace.com. And then you could also find me on LinkedIn, although I'm not the greatest LinkedIn person. So if you ever do want to reach out to me personally, you can email me. And my
Okay.
email is Renee, Rene, at myfoodspace.com.
Perfect. Well, that wraps up this edition of On Tap, presented by FCSI The Americas. A special thanks to Renee for joining us on the show today. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and also help us out by sharing these episodes on your social media feeds. Until our next episode, cheers.